Collective, what's good? How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. I am doing great. Thank you so much for taking some time to stop by and see your girl. I appreciate you. Okay. All right, I'm picking up in the energy that's there's someone you're connected to in some way, or you were, and they are generally surprised at how strong you are showing up. Okay. Not only are they generally surprised, but your strength is turning out to be a problem for them. I don't know what it is they wanted, what they intended, what they were hoping for, but whatever that is, it's turning out to not be that way. Okay. So I have strengths here. All right. I feel like this is your energy. Okay. You've overcome a lot. You have withstood a lot of obstacles. If this person is generally surprised, because I have general here and then I have surprise. Okay. It seems like they were trying to manipulate something for you that they thought would maybe break you, all right? Or they stood back and watched you go through things and they were hoping that it would break you. But it turns out that you are not broken, okay? So there's a problem now because you're not yielding, you're not breaking down, you're not losing courage, all right? You're not discouraged. So I don't know who this is for you. Could be a family member, could be an ex, could be an ex-friend, an associate, somebody important or someone not so important, okay? You may need help or assistance. Yeah, it feels like this individual wanted you to need them. Like they wanted you to ask them for help. So if you have been facing some challenges, it feels like you decided not to do that. Okay? You decided to just kind of um withstand the storm on your own. Okay? You had your spirit team, you had your ancestors, you had the divine. So you had everything you needed if you got all of that, right? But this person wanted you to need them. All right? Let's see what's going on here. Clarify strength. Devouring mother, space for growth and independence, protective, loving, supportive, nurturing, acknowledges child's need for individuality. So you have been going through a period of shedding. For sure. If the devouring mother is showing up, you have been going through a period of shedding. You have been strong through a period of having to process through your shadow work period, seeing what no longer serves you, what no longer honors you, removing those things. Going through a cleansing, a purging, a shedding with the devouring mother is not easy. Okay. Now, even for some of you, you have a biological mother that shows up in that energy of the devouring mother. All right. But you've shown great strength, however this is played out, whether this has to do with your biological mother or mother figure, or whether this is just the devouring mother, as in that divine aspect of the mother that comes in to assist us at letting go of things that keep us from being able to awaken. Okay? She helps us break the karmic cycles and patterns, right? And by doing so, by you being strong through that process, you have found this new independence. She's also very protective. She doesn't let us double back, like a dog to its vomit, so to speak. She doesn't let us do that. She will correct us when she sees us trying to kind of like go back to some old energy. That's how she nurtures. Okay? Now, you've gone through this process because you realized possibly that you needed to step into your own individuality. You needed to awaken. Amidst confusion and intense crisis, seek the light of understanding and resolve. Stay awake, okay? Stay awake. Clarify the devouring mother. Mercury. Mercury is showing up. Communication. You could be a Virgo, you could be a Gemini. You could have it somewhere in your chart, all right? Quick action, adaptable, selective, wise, clear, and concise communication. Quick-witted, intellectually expressive, processes info clearly. You have a relationship with the great mother, even this aspect of her, okay, which is more of her shadow aspect, okay? And she nurtures kind of differently because this is the aspect of her that kind of pulls you apart. Okay, it kind of breaks you apart to put you back together again. Who this message is going to reverberate for is that you have a deep relationship with this aspect of the mother, or with the mother in general. You are not afraid of her nurturing, her light aspect, or her devouring aspect, or any of her many emanations. You work with the mother as it relates to like building the strength, the courage that you need to forge your own space, your own independence, your own individuality. So there's a lot of communication. You've been communicating more with the mother, all right? Feeling positive about life, new start. And because you have been doing that, yes, you have had some rainy experiences, some emotional, some heartbreaking experiences, some challenging experiences, but there's a fresh start. You knew that you were journeying through the storm, that the storm wasn't going to stay, that there was going to be an end to the rain, right? And I feel like you're crossing over into this new fresh start. Clean slate, follow your heart in love, forgiving others who hurt you, and letting go. So you communicating with the mother has allowed you to stay strong in the midst of adversity. All right. Adversity that you were facing that was always for your benefit, and you were always going to get what you needed from that adversity. Okay. Clarify general spirit. Most people avoid the aspect of the mother, the devouring aspect. Most people are afraid of that aspect, okay? We've kind of been conditioned to be afraid of that aspect of her, but that is still her nurturing side. She is not going to allow you to continue to, as long as you are ready, right? She's not going to allow you to sit in situations and circumstances and continue to make decisions that undermine your divinity, right? So when you're ready, she's ready. So this is not an aspect of her that needs to be avoided. In all honesty, awakening can't happen without this aspect of her. Okay, so whether we know that that's what we're tapping into when we awaken, whether we are consciously aware of it or not, when we set on the journey to be enlightened, right, to rise in consciousness and spiritual awareness and self-awareness, this is who you have to see first. This is the aspect of the mother that you see first, because there's really no other way. She is the one that helps us shed. Now, the general here, we have weapons, okay? Weapons. Reconciliation, think things through, be careful of risky investments and people, gather info about surroundings and people. I feel like somebody tried to weaponize this season. Like, in a general way, someone else tried to weapon or fight you as you are already processing through this. I have lantern. One-sided information, gossip, avoid misunderstandings and arguments, situations that stir up envy, envious people. Wow. A lot of what you may have had to process through had to do with disloyal people, phony people, people who took advantage of you, people who wanted to take advantage of you. There's a lot of gossip here, a lot of slander, because you were in this process already for your own benefit and for your own growth. Had nothing to do with anybody else. I feel like there are someone There is someone or a group of people, again, could be family, could be friends, could be exes, could be whoever, okay? But this feels kind of close to heart. So I'm picking up more on family or a love relationship, romantic or otherwise. Somebody you cared about, some people you cared about. They they basically weaponize this season against you through the gossip, through the slander, through the evil eyes, through not trying to understand what you were fighting through. I'm also picking up with this general that you are high ranked in the spirit. And these individuals who saw where you were going through are not necessarily as knowledgeable about these kinds of things and this kind of spiritual process. And so they talked, they slandered, right? They gossiped. They maybe even confronted you and argued with you. They became envious. They're envious now of your spiritual ranking. Okay? Tell us more. Horseshoe. Can't make it up. Good luck. Protection. Success. Future is up to you now. Caring. Spouse. Unique opportunities. Take them. Yeah, because you doing the work, you putting in the work has elevated you in the spirit. It has elevated you in your life. It has elevated you. You now hold all of the things that you need, particularly the sword. The sword. What is it about the sword, Spirit? Why are you bringing that? Confident, thrill seeker, bold and daring, enjoys risk, calculated, cool, and collected. It's giving me King or Queen of Swords. That's what it's giving me. You're very protective of yourself. You're very protective of who you communicate with and what you communicate, who you share things with, because you know in general, because of your spiritual ranking and because of who you are, that people have a tendency to be envious of you. People have a tendency to want to fight you, okay? You're very protective. You have stepped into this very successful time of period in your life, okay? Your future is very successful, but now you know that your future is in your hands and it's totally up to you. You having some new opportunities that are coming towards you. Spirit is saying for you to take them. Take them. Okay? Independency. Somebody is really like stepping into this new independency. Clarify surprise, Spirit. Epicure. Adventurous, insatiable appetite. Open, upbeat, optimistic. Somebody's surprised. I'm telling you. Somebody is shocked. Probably these envious individuals who gossiped, who avoided you while you were going through. I mean, they avoided you like you had the plague. You know, they avoided you like you had the plague. They didn't understand what you were experiencing because they haven't made up their mind or their heart to allow the mother to help them enlighten themselves, help them heal. They haven't gone through it, so they did not understand what you were going through. But that's neither here nor there, because not understanding what somebody's going through shouldn't prompt you to gossip, especially when it's a family member, especially when it's a close friend. It shouldn't prompt you to slander them. That's coming from the individual. That's not coming from misunderstanding. So they are surprised because now you're having all of your needs met. Okay? You're having all of your needs met. You're very optimistic. You're open to the possibilities. You have new opportunities, new options. Tell me more. Eh, yeah, that confirms. Okay. So whoever this is could be someone who is surprised because this is someone you used to communicate with and share everything with. You would share every adventure, every change, every shift, every decision, every new relationship, every bad relationship. You communicated with this person often. All right. You spent time with this person often. This is the same person that when they saw you going through, though, when they saw you facing your challenges, when they saw you deciding to change, this is the same person that avoided you and gossiped about you and slanderized you because they didn't understand what you were doing. For some of you, this very same person who knows you very well, they called you a witch. And it ain't nothing wrong with being a witch. But that's their intentions weren't good intentions. Okay? They called you confused, maybe mentally, emotionally unstable. This is someone who had a lot to say about what you were experiencing, and they avoided you. Now they are surprised because normally you would tell them everything. You would talk to them about everything. You would share your good food stuffs with them. Your food stuff don't have to be food. Your food stuffs can be energy. Your food stuff can be, time, attention, whatever it is they can feed off of, or they can be fed from you, by you, right? And this person had an insatiable appetite for communicating, for knowing your business, for knowing what it is you have going on, right? But now they're surprised because they can see that you're experiencing this elevation. They can see that you're very optimistic, that the sun is shining brightly over your life. They can see that you've come out of this rainy period. Okay? You've come out of this as you always were going to come out, because the devouring mother is not like trying to hold you forever. The whole point is to go in to come out, right? They can see now all of the beautiful things that you're experiencing because you're on your way out of this season of having to shed and sacrifice and process and all of that. This individual is used to you communicating. Life spinning out of control, destination nowhere, risky, lack of self motivation, unbalanced. And when you used to divulge and disclose everything that you had going on, they sat back and talked about how your life was spinning out of control. You consider this person a close family, a close friend, whatever the case may be. But they were actually glorifying your instability. They were taking pleasure in you being unbalanced, which is crazy work. Crazy work. But they're surprised now. Why are they surprised? Why are they surprised? They're surprised because I feel like that's not the case anymore. You're now balanced. Your life is no longer spinning out of control. You have your destiny and you know where you're headed. And you are self-motivated, which means you don't need to sit up and jaw jack with them about what you got going on and what you don't have going on. This is what's surprising them. This person has an inflated ego. They don't complete their own projects. Works quickly and makes mistakes, impatient, becomes bored with mundane tasks. They feel isolated. Clarify the bicycle. Let it be. Embrace the journey with openness, trusting in the universe to lead you. You have completely changed. You have done a whole 180. Okay? You're not the same individual that was dependent on having karmic people around you just so you can have somebody to talk to, just so you don't have to feel alone. You know now that you are never alone. Whether you have people around you in the 3D or not, you are never alone. All right? You're embracing your journey. You embraced it. You've been embracing it. You're stepping into this great season of fulfillment. This time in your life is bringing you a lot of fulfillment. I think they're generally surprised because it appears that you're okay no longer being in these karmic relationships. You surrendered these karmic relationships. Clarify problem. Snow. Jealousy. Sadness. Secrecy. Cold. Death. Negative emotions. Isolation. Loneliness. Withdrawn. Your change is a problem for some past people, for a past person. Your change is a problem because they don't have access to you now. And I don't feel like you're giving the cold shoulder. It's just they can tell that y'all don't have anything to talk about. Y'all are not in the same place. All this epicure and all this sitting up talking insatiably about nonsense that's not where you're at, and that's all they can contribute. That's all they can contribute. That's all they were receiving from you. That's all the whole relationship was built upon. Because, like I said, they got a kick out of your life spinning out of control. They got a kick out of watching what they thought was you going nowhere. What they thought was you taking risk because you lack motivation. They thought everything you were going through was because you was unbalanced. Misunderstanding what it means to spiritually grow and spiritually heal and spiritually evolve. Okay? There's a misunderstanding, or there's an outright lack of a desire to understand. Because that's two total different things, if you ask me. Okay? People sit up on their high horse, okay? Sit up on their high horse, thinking that they know everything, thinking that they know what your final destination is going to be in life, thinking that they can see what you're processing through, that because they know you in relationship, that they know the inner you, they know what you're going through on the inside. People sit up on their high horses. This person definitely did. They didn't want to understand. So now that you have embraced your journey, and now you are having your heart's desire fulfilled, your wish fulfillment. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're working on. I don't know what you're building, but you're definitely not spinning out of control. You definitely know exactly where you're headed, and you're self-motivated. You don't want to talk to people from the past. You don't want to, you don't have a reason to, because you don't need any validation. And I feel like someone in the collective, you are fully aware that you were left to it on your own for a reason. And in you being left alone, certain things that were said about you behind your back may have even gotten back to you, and you quietly kept staying focused on your process. Things were being done, laughter, people were laughing at you, taking glory in what they thought was your downfall, and you got word of it. You picked it up intuitively, some kind of way. Your spirit team revealed to you the snakes in your grass, right? So you don't have anything to talk about. You're trusting the universe to guide you now. And this person, these people have deep-seated jealousy. Now we got envy out here, and now we have jealousy. So not only do they want what you have, but there's also those who don't want what you have. They just don't want you to have it. Now they're experiencing negative emotions. Now they're feeling isolated and lonely and withdrawn because there's been a death to this phony karmic connection. Clarify snow. Environmentalists. Overconsumption, blames, anti-human, retreating, apocalyptic, righteous. Oh, see, this is the high horse shit here. I don't know why, but I feel like this is someone who has their dogmas. They're very dogmatic about what they believe, what they think is right, what they think is wrong. pushes agendas onto others, rigid, intolerant. This person is full of themselves. They're also full of religious mumbo jumbo. That's what I just heard. Religious mumbo jumbo. For some, that will reverberate, that will apply. Tell me more. This is, but they religious, but they on their high horse, but they got this apocalyptic repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Wouldn't know nothing about heaven because they haven't forged or found or discovered heaven within. Wouldn't know nothing about it. But this is the individual who will call you a backslider. This is the individual that will call what you're doing because you're discovering your own personal power. You're empowering yourself. You're tapped into the divine, the most high. You've allowed the divine, the most high to expand your tools, your resources, your learning, your discovery. Because you've done that, this is the individual that will call you a backslider. This is the individual that would toot their nose up at you and say that you have slid away from the things of God. This is also the religious person who's been gossiping and spreading rumors. So there's your religion. There's their energy. Okay? Because we have snuffed candle. Victim of rumors, of gossip, challenges on spiritual journey, future sickness, damage control. They want you to put your light out. They want you to stop shining your light. They want to snuff out your candle, your journey. They wanted you to come off your journey and go back to something. I don't know what that was. Slide. I'm telling you. They wanted you to go back. Come out of a back. I don't know why I'm picking up a whole lot of religious jargon, but that's what I'm hearing. Come apart, come separate. Like, you got to come back. You know, God is married to the backslider and, you know, all this stuff that they have going on. And yet, you continue to go on your journey. You continue to trust the Most High. You continue to process through. And now you're receiving the spiritual, emotional, mental, financial fruit of that labor. You tended to your garden. Your garden was lying waste. You tended to it, which is what we're all supposed to do. But this individual, too busy looking for a scapegoat, didn't get the memo. And so they want you to go back. So your growth, your change, your evolution has become a problem. This is a liar. This is somebody who's been outright lying, spreading half-truths, reporting without evidence. This is an individual who's phony. Spreads propaganda, persuades negative acts, manipulates information to one side. Deceptive side. Deceptive. Wow. This card says deceptive. Side, deceptive. Well, what does the collective need to know going forward now that they have gone and they are reaching this beautiful threshold? Let's do divine flow. Divine source, help me know that all my deepest needs will be met Let me trust that you have a plan and the right actions will come. You are my source for all. Wow. This is beautiful energy coming from the collective who reverberates with this message. Despite this backbiter over here, this is beautiful energy. And I can see why they are jealous of you. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't dabble in the energy of jealousy, but if I was this underdeveloped individual, maybe I could see it. You know what I mean? Because you have gone on a beautiful journey to find yourself, to find wholeness, to discover it. They haven't been able to unshackle themselves so that they can experience the change that is afforded to us all. And that's not your problem. That's their problem. Okay? Outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your will. Release me from my attachments. This individual was an attachment that you have released. And that is what they are jealous of. That is what they are bothered by. I'm hearing victim mentality. Your silence has put this person in the mindset that they are a victim. They are your victim. You don't talk to them no more. You giving them the cold shoulder. I don't know what got into them. I don't know what got into him. I don't know what got into her. When they know fully, they know full well that they never meant you well to begin with. So you've released yourself from this particular attachment. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed, and I am open to receive. Tell us more, Spirit. Deepening. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. Yep, see? Your journey is your journey. My journey is my journey. Whoever's journey is their journey. You know, we're all at different timelines, even at the soul level. Gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. Wow. So you're showing up very grateful for the depth of your soul. You're very grateful for this process and this journey that you're on, that you've been on. You're learning your lessons. You're developing and growing and evolving as a divine soul. Okay. Let's see. We have flow. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. Yeah, you in flow state. And now you're going to receive, okay? Stay in flow state. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. Sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. And see, this is the most mundane problem, and it actually fell on the problem card, the row with the problem. This is just a whole, you possess a whole nother level of understanding from whoever this person or these people are. Just a whole nother level of spiritual understanding. Hence the enlightenment of it all. Hence the awakening of it all. Hence the growth and the elevation and the leveling up and the glowing up of it all. You know, people who don't go through that process just simply are not going to understand it. And sometimes those relationships are a problem, a mundane problem, but a problem. But you turn that problem, even possibly that relationship, into a sacrament, into an offering, releasing it and letting it go so that you can stay in flow state and receive. You're already showing up very grateful because you know it's about to come in. I don't know what you're working on or what you're manifesting, but continue to stay in flow state, okay? Continue to stay in flow state. All right, collective, this has been the message. Thank you so much for tapping in with me. I hope something was said to bring you confirmation and clarity, comfort, all of that good stuff. If you are not a subscriber, join the tribe. Go on and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell so you'll know when I'm back with another message. Gratitude to all of my returning viewers, my Starseed family. I'm going to get y'all some membership messages out. Give me a day or so so I can really kind of settle down and get those messages out for the Starseed family. If anybody is in need of a personal reading, my information is in the description. You can click the link. It'll take you to my website where you can book with me, and I'll get that done for you. All right? Make sure you like, share, comment. Let me know how this message reverberated for you. Hype it up, all of that beautiful energy, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, family.